I think we've got as close as we're going to get to our ideal temperature window for lime mortaring. It's not perfect, but it's as close as we're going to get. We had 42 degrees on Saturday, and that was just too hot. But today is as close as we're going to get. It's 24 degrees at the moment, so I'm going to uncover the cement mixer. I think the ideal temperature, what they say for lime mortaring, is 15 to 20 degrees C, and I think the minimum is 5, the maximum's 30 or something like that. And well, unless we wait until the middle of winter, we had 15 or 18 degrees C in the middle of winter, and we were still having barbecues in winter. So yeah, so unless we wait until the middle of winter, we're not going to get the ideal temperature window for for lime mortaring. So I've just noticed this. Don't know if you can see this. I think it's about time we put a French plug on our cement mixer.
Right, so there's 2 buckets of sand already in there. 1 bucket of lime.
Now this is what happened last time. You'd think because there is 3 buckets of sand and 1 lime, the sand would dominate the colour mix. And it didn't happen like that, did it?
No, it didn't.
The grey seemed to bind and coat the orange. Yeah.
Well, hopefully it'll be whiter as opposed to grey at this time.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping with the sand as well, it might be more creamy.
Yeah.
But until it's dried on the wall, we won't know what colour it's
No.
anyway.
No. Just giving the wall a good spray down before we start. Makes the lime mortar a lot easier to adhere to the wall. Although the aim was to rake out only to 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres deep, a lot of these stones had bees, lizards and everything like that nesting around them, and as you can see, some of them have got really deep holes around them. So this particular stone here would take, I don't know, 1 or 2 kilos to re-mortar back in, and a square metre of this wall would take quite a lot of material to re-mortar. And you can understand why a professional would charge anywhere up to €120 to, re-mortar. Well, I don't know if it shows, but it's come out a little bit more creamy grey than we really wanted. And I don't know if it's because it's probably high 20s, close to 30 degrees now, so it could be that the lime's been drawn to the surface or something like that, but I don't know. But I've got my stiff plastic brush and I'm going to start tapping back, and what that should hopefully do is push the mortar into any air gaps and give the surface a bit of a smoother texture, and should reveal the stones a little bit more. And I bet I'll get on with it now and stop me talking, because I've left it already a little bit too long, and better start tapping back really. This is quite a stiff plastic brush and it's got quite a good long handle, so better get on with it. Enough of me talking. So done some research on the web, and it appears that it's not the colour of the sand, it's more the subsoil that the sand sits in. And in ancient times, people would add spices and stuff like that to the sand to make it look a different colour. So Yeah, we might have to live with what we've got, basically.
Well, it's getting creamier.
Yeah, it is
It's
getting
not,
slightly
I mean,
creamier.
that's grey.
Yeah,
This stuff here on top is the white, so this is the cream.
yeah. And if it dries too quick, it will turn white, apparently. But what we're going to do, if you can see here, we're going to wire brush back slightly further than we
Well, I don't think we
originally.
need to, actually.
Yeah, but some of these stones here are quite colourful, so we're going to wire brush them back and add some hydrochloric acid to them to bring up the colour of the stones, and we're basically going to live with it, I think. So
So, I haven't got a clue the best way of doing this, so I'm just going to use my artistic impression, which isn't very good. Looks like a 3-year-old's done it. You know, sometimes you want to be really artistic,
yeah, it rarely happens.
but you think like a 3-year-old could do it better. In fact, it looks like a 3-year-old's done it. So, if that grill goes to that point there, and to that point there, what I could do with is a couple of biggish stones going to approximately there. In fact, a little bit more inwards. Say about there. That'll fill that bit up. And what have we got? Big, probably that one. That'll fit in nicely there, won't it? A lot better. Also, now any rain running down here won't go into the cave, or shouldn't. There's a lovely air hole coming through, and then we'll have 2 of these fixed on there, so no critters can get through.
Great.
Great.
See
what you did
there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So a lot better. Happy with that.
Got myself a wire brush, and what I'm doing is similar to when you're tapping back. You're flattening the surface a little bit. You're taking out any sort of like big lumps and bumps, and what I'm doing is I'm starting from the centre of these stones and I'm working out, and I'm sort of angling the wire brush at about 45 degrees, and I'm working out sort of a bit like this really. If I was to get the wire brush and I was to scrub away sort of like in a bit of an angry fashion, it would sort of like create a bit of a metallic sheen on the stones, and it doesn't really look very good really. So yeah, I'm going to take it nice and slow and steady, and also when you go at it in a bit of an angry fashion, it breaks up the edges and creates sort of like a bit of a nasty edge. So yeah, if you work out with a brush sort of like at 45 degrees, it kind of feathers the edges quite nicely as well. So yeah, I've got quite a lot of wall to do, so it's also a bit of a slow process, and I think that's why some people after they've tapped back, or instead of tapping back, they use a sponge and stuff like that. But the sponging also leaves quite a lime wash effect on the stones, which, you know, you have to wire brush off as well sometimes. So yeah, we've seen a few of these little nooks by back doors. We're not sure if they're little spy holes to see who's at the door, or whether they're little holes to put a little like oil lamp in or something like that. But we're going to fill it up with you know, a couple of stones or something like that, because we've actually got a big nice outdoor lamp to go by our back door now. This giant hole in the wall was actually where we had 2 sort of chimney pipes coming out the wall. They were from an old stove, and we've now got to re-brick it up with a load of these sort of giant granite blocks. Oh, they're heavy, which is all right for us because we're in the cruise and we've obviously got a garden full of the things. And but if we were anywhere else, say like where we lived in England, they were pretty rare, and we'd probably have to go to a DIY store and buy them. And they're in England, they're actually quite expensive. And we've now got to put this stainless steel pipe, take it out of its wrapping, and we've got to poke it up in the top left corner and stop the birds coming in. We thought we did have a family of birds living in the hole, but it turned out to be just a little rather chirpy lizard, which was lucky. So yeah, we best get on with it because it's probably going to take a whole cement mixer load of lime mortar. We've actually done a dry run of how this goes together, but obviously, you know, the lime mortar takes up a bit of the space, so when we do it for real, it might not work. So yeah, watch this space on how it goes, because you know, disasters do happen round here. And when you actually put it together, you have to fill the gap behind with sort of like rubble and sand and as well. So yeah, it might not go as planned. Well, that's certainly looking a little bit different now, isn't it? Just got to tap it back now. We're now right at the top of the house, raking out. We've probably broken the golden rule of starting at the top and working our way down. And as you can probably see, the wall is now smothered in dust, as you'd expect. And a lot of the stones are really close together and they're touching each other, and that is due to, I don't know, lime mortar erosion over the last 150 years, and the lime mortar is basically washed away. And yeah, the stones in quite a lot of places touching, and some of them have even cracked. I don't know if you can see there's one that's cracked there, there's another couple that are cracked there, several of them are cracked basically, and they've almost exploded in several places. And this stone here is completely loose, and we were worried that if we started at the bottom basically and worked our way, well, started at the top and started mortaring at the top and worked our way down, that the extra weight of the wall at the top would, well, it would cause a serious issue. And this particular patch of wall was where the chimney was, and there was an awful lot of cracking around this bit, wasn't there? Yeah. And an awful lot of cement had been used as well, and yeah, you can see they're all loose. So yeah, this part of the wall's actually in dire condition basically, isn't it? Yeah. So we're quite surprised that this patch of wall is actually still standing, really.
Yeah. So I've just come out to see what he's up to because of the noise, and it's the compressor going, and he's right at the top of the scaffolding, getting rid of all the loose dust and dirt off the brickwork that we raked out yesterday, or the stonework we raked out yesterday. Considering he doesn't do heights, he's certainly clambered up there pretty quick this morning. And then that'll all be ready now for pointing. He's doing well, isn't he? There's an awful lot of dust in the air as well now. And because it's quite windy, it's blowing everywhere. And as you see, he's clinging on with his left hand for dear life.
I think that should have worn a mask.
Oh, I'm getting pelted in bits here. Yeah, that's looking fantastic.
I'm clinging on for grim death up here.
I know, I can. He just said, if you can't hear him,
White.
he's clinging on for dear death. I gave it a quick brush down yesterday, and the amount of stuff that's coming off here, that'll be a lovely clean surface for rendering or mortaring.
We've basically been beaten by bright blue skies and nice weather, which is kind of nice for us, but yeah, unfortunate in a way, because we've mortared to the top of the ground floor windows and to the left of where Mandy's standing, and Mandy's currently raking out ready for the next load of mortar to go on, but it's a bit too hot to put mortar on at the moment. It's, you know, high 20 degrees. To the right of where Mandy is, all the renders been removed, but we don't want to remove too much render in one go, because, you know, the back of the house is still rather unstable, and, you know, we're still worried it's going to collapse. Now, above the door is particularly unstable, and to the right of the door is particularly unstable, because that's where the gutter was really leaking. So, you know, if we took that down as well, you know, the back of the house might collapse. So yeah, it's still a bit dangerous, and where Mandy's working we're finding some huge cracks as well. So, but there are some storms coming at the weekend, hail, thunder and lightning and stuff like that, and there might be another weather window, so fingers crossed. Progress has been good at the moment, but yeah, slow. So we've done possibly the worst bit, which was where the chimney was, but there are a couple of other bits which are also in pretty
Dire condition
really, but we won't know fully until we rake them out, really. So we'll wait and see, really. Yeah. But yeah, the mortar was a little bit lighter than we liked, but
beggars can't be choosers, really.
Yeah,
it's not grey this time.
It does match in with the window frame that we've done, so yeah. So
I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to look a lot better than it was.
It definitely looks 100% better than it did. So yeah, we're pretty pleased, really.
Yeah, and it's a heck of a lot more secure now as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely safer. So yeah. So as usual, folks, give us a bit of the old like and subscribe.
He does like that.
Yeah, and I'm going to get down off this scaffolding
very carefully and very slowly.
Yeah. So
we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.